WWE was back at it in 1986 with WrestleMania 2, and they may have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew. A very ambitious idea to run 3 separate locations, LA, Chicago, and New York. It was definitely an interesting idea, but I think one WWE probably regrets, and we have not, still to this day, 40 years later, seen them do this again. Of course, the main event for this show was the big WWF Championship steel cage match between Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy inside of that old classic blue bar cage that we remember from our childhood. And it wasn't a bad main event, to be honest. Hogan clobbered Bundy, opened him up, bloodied him, and successfully retained the WWF Championship in the very first WWF World Heavyweight Championship match in WrestleMania history. We only had one title change at WrestleMania 2, and it was a good one. My second favorite tag team of all time, the British Bulldogs defeating the Dream Team to win the tag team championships. The Bulldogs had not only Captain Lou Albano in their corner, but they also had Ozzy Osbourne, as WWE was continuing the tradition of celebrities at WrestleMania. Randy Macho Man Savage would defend his newly won Intercontinental Championship against George the Animal Steele in a really fun feud that involved George Steele kind of being obsessed with Elizabeth back when Randy was treating her bad, and this was an issue that would spill over into the next year's Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania. But in this match, Savage was able to get the victory over George, but that didn't mean George wasn't going to bite and eat a turnbuckle like he always does. Savage was able to outsmart George Steele here, using the ropes for leverage and retaining his Intercontinental Championship, but that would not be the last Savage would be seeing of George the Animal Steele. Another big standout at WrestleMania 2 was the big battle royal that featured WWF wrestlers and NFL players. And of course, this battle royal took place at the Chicago location, and they had William Refrigerator Perry in this match, who was mixing it up with Big John Studd a little bit. In the end, it was Andre the Giant getting the win here, last eliminating both members of the Hart Foundation, Jim the Anvil Neidhart first, and then Bret the Hitman Hart gets tossed over right on top of Jim. Right when the Harts had first come in, they were still wearing the blue, and they had not even really gotten out of the blocks yet, and they were in there till the end with Andre the Giant. And I almost forgot to mention the infamous boxing match between Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. T. Their issue carrying over from the previous year's WrestleMania. They are still going at it now. It's a boxing match here at WrestleMania 2, and this ends with a Mr. T victory via disqualification when Piper just picks up and body slams him. And this was after he had chucked a wooden stool at him earlier on in between one of the rounds. I believe in the beginning days of WrestleMania, Mr. T's involvement was just as important as Hulk Hogan's.